Love Bugs is Roslynn back at you one more. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored. The same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome into my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family. Just thank you so much for the love and vibes that you've been sending me, the upliftment. It was truly needed, especially through all these changes that we're going through. It was very appreciated. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when your girl's about to upload her next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback of the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life, and heading you towards a positive direction. If you feel like the videos are very uplifting to you, informative, give you good vibes, that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that are going through trying times and need confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give me a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites, wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It's greatly appreciated. And I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And the music that I'm listening to in the background is called Deep Relaxation Music, bird sounds, soothing music, and relaxing music for stress relief. And I will post that link in the description box below. And the video I'm doing today is Twin Flame 101. Heyoka's foundations are being built from your love and power of light that constantly grows. Uh, when oh goodness, I can't even read my own writing. That will not fall. Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of things that we're eager to step into. It's like we're already stepped into the new chapter of our lives. We had to go through a lot of levels, come to terms, cut a lot of cords on things that are no longer serving us in the way it was supposed to. Parting ways with certain people in our lives. Changing your circle and stuff like that. People are starting to gravitate towards you that are very like-minded. There's a lot of things that you have been manifesting in your life, and I know we can get very eager at times, like where all the stuff that we are manifesting or why isn't it here yet? It's like we all know that we have to, even though it gets frustrating and you're a lot of times you are so ready to start off in that next chapter. Trust me, I know, because you're going through all these different changes. There are certain things that you still need to heal from. There are certain things that you need to allow yourself to see and in the change that's taking place, and being able to have that gratitude of what certain situations were teaching you. What did you need to know? Allowing yourself to viewpoints, not allowing fear and doubt to get into the way of the changes that needs to take place. Because I get like that as well. It's like all through these intense changes, it brings off a lot of crazy energy along with it, and it's like, well, you're going through these intense transformations and transmutations. It takes you in all these different changes. It changes your emotions. It's just it has intense side effects as well. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be comfortable. But what we do need to be comfortable about is the change. Being uncomfortable with being comfortable with the comfortable of change that's taking place in our life. I try to be able to see when I see things in my life that's changing for the better, and at times it is just like, how you could be going through and healing from one thing, and it just takes that one situation that is taking place in your life to have like a domino effect of a lot of bad things that's coming. You're like, trust it, be positive, because these things are taking place, and not allow yourself to be hindered or stressed out because of the things that are changing in your life. A lot of times we got to go through, uh, negative situations, but you have to try to see the positivity out of it, because it was just a couple of things. Like I said, I had to take a break yesterday. I didn't send out any posts because it was like I was going through so much intense stuff Oh, excuse me, yesterday I did not want to push that vibration out on nobody. I said, usually I try to send out posts every day, whether or not if I'm making videos or not, just to keep y'all in the loop. And a lot of y'all be like, Roslynn, you ain't got to tell us this. And I said, I know, but I just try to make sure I keep y'all in the loop of what's going on. Um, I've always just been like that. If there's things that's going on, there's a lot of things I was coming to terms with venting, pushing out a lot of things that need to be said towards the universe as well as for myself, allowing that change to take place. It's not easy, but you can allow yourself to be able to understand the change that had to take place in your life. Because there's a lot of times we still hold on to certain things that, is obviously served its purpose and needed to be, parted ways, being able to appreciate it for what that situation's taught you. And there was certain things that was coming up. I was unaware that I still had, emotions in that. So I had to really see it for what it is, to allow myself to detach my emotions away from that experience. You know, um, and I really, to be honest with you, is probably because of me speaking to my mom's ex-husband a few days ago. Like, I was already going through different changes because of what all happened last weekend, and just trying to come to terms and be at ease and just allow myself to focus on raising my frequency, putting myself in a positive balance. And it was hard to do that when you're feeling everything around you. On top of that, you're doing your all these different vibrations is changing. Yourself as a whole is changing in a very big way. But it was just like, you have to allow yourself to know, it's just, we have to see our life, and as we're manifesting towards the blessings of our reality that's on its way into our lives, it has to be solid. And a lot of times it's hard for us to understand that when there's things that's going on in our lives, we are so ready to end. And obviously it's just like certain things need to be understood, certain things you need to heal from, that you may feel that you're all the way healed from it. But if there are certain things that come back up and you're still, saying, oh, I used to remember this and I used to remember that, if you're not using it as in a term for, this has happened to me, but I had a chance to see it as a positive issue that I was able to transfer or convert, whatever, a negative memory into a positive reality. When you have gone through things where, like, say, for example, if somebody has mistreated you in some kind of way, and it left that, that funk of, trauma in your life. But if when you're allowing yourself, like if you're helping somebody, if somebody asks you, hey, I'm going through this, can you help me, understand what's going on in our lives? And I use a certain situation that has placed in my life, as for the things that I went through, and I said, even though this was a very painful thing, but when I allowed myself to really, sit with myself, wait until I was out of my emotions, I had to really allow myself to see through the cloudiness. Because a lot of times when you go through very negative situation, your mind is clouded with depression, sadness, trauma, stress, whatever, hurt. And when you allow yourself to detach all that, all those emotions that memory has caught you, it was actually showing you, yes, these things did hurt, and yes, these things had to take place into your life for you to really get a deep understanding of the power you hold, whether the strength you hold. You've been through many things before. You have experienced a lot of things that was not, it didn't seem fair. It was very messed up. A lot of times we have had things happen in our lives where we feel like we might not be able to get through it. And in some kind of powerful way, you end up getting through it. It just took that time, where you took that time out for yourself to basically heal where you needed to heal. And that's just like, our lives, our reality, what things we're trying to, bring towards the forefront is, is laying out a foundation. Like you're about to build your own house, good and well, if you want to have a house, you want to make sure it's safe for you and your loved ones. You don't want to jump into a house where it's swaying, it goes with the wind, it'll be over here one minute and it'll be going over there the next one. You want something sturdy, and that's what it is it's doing with our lives. Everything has to be laid out, everything has to be balanced. put all the right ingredients in there to hold, maintain a house. You got to make room for the what they call that. I forgot what that stuff is where you get it up, where it's very itchy. I forgot what it is when they put it in them houses or whatever, when they lay that installation. I forgot what is made of, but that mess, if you touch it the wrong way. I remember one time I had to take me a shower, and then I had to take me a Benadryl because I was itching like crazy when I touched it. But like you're making your own house from scratch, building it from the ground up. That's what you're doing with yourself. You got to make the air ducts for your air conditioning. Make sure you wire the house up for all electricity, and the sockets is supposed to be in there. Your windows has to make sure that's in place. And those are things that are going on in our lives. And a lot of times when you're dealing with certain situations in your life and you're so ready to in those situations, because of the feeling it gets, where you're tired of dealing with, and it's becoming very repetitive. And a lot of times when situations are very repetitive is because there's something that you're not allowing yourself to see, allowing yourself to let go of, allowing yourself to part ways with. And I had to really understand that, because there was a lot of things, that I really had to make sense out of in my life, and really understand why there's certain things have to take place in a certain way, and being able to understand what kind of positive impact is this situation trying to give me. What do I need to know to where I can strengthen it, to where I can take it into future situations in case that happens. Just with me and my toxic ex relationship. I'm very blessed that I went through those things, even though I'm getting tired of seeing it, but I had to allow myself to really understand this is what showed me my self-worth. This is what showed me my self-love. Not worried about what's being put out there for me in the streets, because how I see myself and how I validate, you know um is what's important to me. That's no longer what I have to deal with. Even though I live with, I don't have to deal with that. you know when it comes time, for whoever is dealing with that, and I hope and pray that things go great for him. And the happiness is, even though it's not wished back on me like that, I do that. Wish happiness for anybody, because I feel like everybody deserves to be happy. Even though with certain situations that I'm in, people want to try to control my happiness, and that's why I'm not going to allow that to happen. But I'm appreciating the fact is that I had to go through that toxic situation, when it came to family, that was so-called family. I had to really detach myself from that, because I really felt bad when my aunt had passed away. But it's just, the fact is, I, in my mind, I detached myself from my mom's ex-husband. I don't even give him that D word as, what you are to your child. I don't give him that. You're just a person that I needed to know in my life, to show me how much do I have to, how much strength I have to detach away from that toxic pattern that was placed on my life, that I needed to know. That know that I have that strength, but you have to allow yourself to know this situation that had to take place in your life to reflect what you needed to realize about yourself. And that was the same thing when it came to my relationship. It showed me my worth. It helped me gain my worth. It made me love myself. And, the things that I didn't like about myself, allow that change to take place into that transformation of me growing up, me healing, me being able to see the broader part of things, being able to sit prayers out, whatever somebody is placing on me that is not going to serve me in that good, send it right back to them. But when I'm sending it back to them, giving that blessing of healing where they need to, from when they were trying to send it on me in the first place. You know, um, Allowing myself to really see it for really what it was. It took a while for me to be able to do that, because that change was very traumatic, because I was dealing with 5 or 6 things all at one time, on top of me, knowing about the empathic gifts I had, and being able to understand it, and not really having that person, a physical person here to be able to tell me that. I had to be guided from my mom that passed over, my aunt, my grandmother, my father. Being able to have all of them that had my back was, I mean, a blessing in so many different ways. They helped me still, remind me, you don't be so hard on yourself. You've gone through so many things, and not a lot of people would have been able to overcome that. I mean, that's a lot. And it's a lot of times when we are going through our situations, and we get aggravated because we're not over something yet. We're not healed from certain things. in that way we'll still carry that, emotion towards certain situations that has happened to our lives that we're needing to really heal and detach ourselves from, because it's like you want answers, you want apologies, you want repercussions for what happened to you. You want that truth to be out. Trust me, I know all those things. I know that change is taking place, because if it wasn't, people wouldn't be heavy on me the way they are. My mom's ex-husband wouldn't be trying to be all up in my life if he didn't feel that change that was going on in my life. But I had to allow myself to know, hey, I don't wish you any ill will. I forgive you. And that took a lot for me to say, I forgive you. But and allow myself to say, whatever's going on in your life, I want you to heal from that. But, I don't need you in my life. It's not going to make any kind of movement emotionally or mentally to have you in my life. You have showed me your truth. I appreciate you showing me my truth, even though you don't want to admit it. I understood it. But I have to go about my business. You do you, I do me, but you stay yourself over on your side of the city and I'll do my own. And it really, I was proud of myself, but that feeling of hurt, really hurt, because I had to go back in my childhood, that inner child, to really see what took place in my life. And that was very hurtful for me, because I really put that man at a high standard. But then being able to see the truth that you didn't really care about me. You care about the benefit of what you were getting from me, to be able to supply you and your wife at a financial, comfortable state of mind, which was very hurtful for me. So that was something that I had to come to terms with, because I was very upset about all those things that had took place in my life, and I got very aggravated, because I'm just like, why am I allowing this to really take effect in my life? And now I can sit here and just, be okay with it. But it was like something that really had me crying a lot. Like, damn, I looked at this man as my father, and then, my life meant nothing to you. My children's life don't mean nothing to you, um, but it was like, what you're still willing to sacrifice my life and my well-being just to make sure you and your wife be happy off of something that was left for me. And that's a hurt feeling, that a person that would be calling yourself their parent would do that for. But he was placed in my life to be able to show me, this can't bother me unless I allow it to. This man has showed me so much of the strength that I reflect, that he doesn't have, but I'm trying to help him get there, because you need to heal. Normal people don't go around trying to bring somebody down or trying to push them into suicide over money. He's really on that low frequency, 3D level of everything is very materialistic. And I had to really understand what was taking place in my life. I had to vent, I had to push out, I had to really come to terms on that. It's a hurtful situation, I can be honest enough to say that. But that situation has showed me so much strength that I reflect in it, because I could have, took it there to a dark place and, excuse me, acted on very volatile impulses of anything any normal person would. When you mess with somebody's mentality, when you do that, and it's what, especially as their emotions and the things that took place in my life, I really had to see it. And it was a hurtful situation for me to have to come to terms with, on the things that I had to deal with growing up. The emotional abuse, the mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, all those different things that had to go on in my life for me to understand, this is what helped me grow. This is what made me strong. um it's a situation I have to really come to terms with emotionally. Mentally is not there, but emotionally, that's something I'm still coming to terms with. If it was a person out on the street, an average person, it wouldn't bother me as much. But when it came to somebody I really looked to, that I really loved growing up, it made me feel like I was never good enough, or there were certain things that I used to beat myself up for, because I didn't think I was good enough. I did this, it was my fault. And then when I finally figured out what the reason was, over financial, it was a hurtful feeling. It really was. It was really hurtful. But, when I sit here today, after I've, done my outlets, because like I said, this is very much of a positive outlet for me, because there's so many people that can relate to what I'm talking about. You go through things and it can hurt like hell. When you, because it is like a lot of times when you have gone through trauma, we have a bad habit of, if there's certain things that we either can come across, or you see it on TV, or you're reading in a book, and it was one of those triggers that you can relate to, because you're reading it on a character, or seeing something happened on the news, or whatever videos you might be watching, or whatever, or a song. It can really take you there and make you remember those things. But the thing is, for you to be able to say, yes, this has happened, but this tragic, dark situation is going to be showing me how much love I have for myself, just because that person that loved me, I could love me for me. You know, it is a hurtful situation for that person to do that to you, if it's a loved one or somebody you really cared about that is deceived you in a certain kind of way. But it allows you to really see it for what it's worth. This is the thing that had to trigger you, to let you know of the power that you hold. This grows into you every day. It's building up things that you don't even know about. It's building up bricks, not for you to build up walls, but build something that's very beautiful that you can admire and say, hey, I built that. This is with my strength. This was with my power. This is what with my magic that nobody cannot disturb, unless it's the universe and God alone. That's the only thing that can be moved by that, because you've already went through hell. You already went through whatever torture you had to go through, whether it was in your current life or your inner child, your childlike, experiences, is really brought you to this point for you to be able to see, even though these things has happened to you, even though it might have took a part of you, violated you in some kind of way, but you are still here. You are serving a purpose. You're allowing yourself to help others, because you can relate to the pain that is going on, because you went through it. You experienced it in many ways. Some people are very vocal about it, and some people just keep it to themselves, which is very understandable. You know, but we have to allow ourselves to not let these things from the past consume us in a way where it might hinder our growth. The knowledge that we need to take part in for what these certain situations was supposed to take place and take us to another level. And I mean, you have to be easy with yourself. You're doing not just emotional clearing and unconditioning from this world, you're doing it from many generations behind, and on top of that, you're breaking cycles. So it's going to be heavy. It's going to be hell. It might make you detach away from a lot of things. There's a lot of times you might go through certain situations where you have to seek solitude for you to understand what is going on in my life, what is taking place. Why am I feeling this way? Why I got anger this way? Why I feel sadness here? Because there's a lot of things that we really need to come to terms with. Allowing yourself to pray every day and just say, I'm going to make it a better day. Allowing yourself to see today is not going to, I'm going to just roll with the punches. I'm not saying it's going to be a perfect day, but allow me to be able to adjust whatever changes that take place within today. And you're going to heal from those things. I have to tell myself this every day. And sometimes it's hard to do that when you got so much going on, still grieving from a parent dying, trying to find closure and answers for all these things, wanting to be able to connect with family. I really would love to know. All these different things are taking place in my life, and it's not easy. I have to be able to take it day by day. I can't go by, oh, okay, it's going to be over by a week. No, allow myself to every day just be able to be grateful for me to have another day, just to start everything all over again, not taking anything for granted, being able to live my life and not just be, existing in it. Allowing myself to really know I can become stronger if I allow myself to. Don't allow somebody else's pettiness, somebody ugliness, to reflect me, to stop my flow. Being able to allow myself to say, what, this too shall pass. Try to be able to see the positive in the negative situations that's taking place in my life that I truly need to understand. So it's like, allow yourself to keep building that foundation, because I guarantee you, the more you allow this foundation to be built up in a strong way, to where it goes layer by layer, brick by brick, I guarantee you, when everything is over, you're going to have a beautiful masterpiece that you're going to be so proud of. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of my video. I hope this was able to help you. in whatever transitions that are taking place in your life. Be easy on yourself, be very kind. Don't get frustrated if you're not able just to get over something within a day. It takes time to do that. You're clearing a lot of years of sadness, a lot of years of trauma. So allow yourself to let that transition take place and just trust the process. I gotta tell myself this every day. But I would love to give a post notification shout out to Miss Sheila Jack and my key um, Barbie and Matthew Colt. Much love to you. If you're new to the channel, much love, welcome. Good to have you. Drop a line so I can give you a post notification shout out. I hope you have a blessed, safe weekend and being responsible at everything you do. Like and subscribe, hit that bell, share, give me a thumbs up. If you would love to talk to me outside of here because you don't feel comfortable with, telling me about your situation here, um, but would love to talk on one-on-one about your spiritual path. I would try to help you and get the answers that you truly need, or if not, I can send you towards the directions for you to be able to get the information you need. Everything we talk there about is confidential. You don't have to worry about it going anywhere. Make sure you're being responsible at everything you do. So I know it's a secret. I said secret. It's the weekend, so a lot of y'all like to cut loose, which is, totally okay. But just make sure you're safe and being responsible at it. Whatever you're trying to manifest to bring into your reality, I hope it comes 100 times more than what you asked for, and sooner than you expected it to. So make sure you give out love, light, prosperity, and positive vibes, words, and frequencies, and vibes. All those things can really take somebody a long way. And I will see you on my next video. Much love to you. Peace. Be wild.